Okay, we are live. Okay, good morning to the Temple Municipal Court. My name is Judge Person. I do welcome everybody to court this morning. Give me just a moment. We're having a little So I do want to let you know a few things before we get started. And in connection with that, let me just talk to everyone a little bit. I've got a few people I have not been able to identify. And I'll start, Mr. You're labeled right now Gunner. And sir, I'm asking you to unmute. If you could just give me your full name.
Robert Wysocki.
Okay, Mr. Wysocki. Let me add you on, and I'm going to go ahead and change that name just for purposes of this particular meeting. And that way I won't lose track of you. And let me get your file pulled in. And then the next person I wasn't able to connect to a case is, let me see. Sometimes people log in and then they're gone, and this person is gone. So I don't see them right now. Another person, well, that's a few people have lost connection somehow. So I see one person trying to get back on. Few problems. Sometimes when it rains, we seem to have more issues. A person who is labeled with a phone number, and that phone number ending in 220, I think you're on a phone. If you could just unmute your phone for a moment and let me know your name.
Danica Mack.
Okay, Ms. Mack, thank you. I have you already in.
Okay.
And that's fine. I had you labeled here a different way. That's all fine. Thank you. And then person named Corin, probably still trying to connect. Once you've logged in or once you're connected, maybe I'll be able to figure out your name. Okay, and then we've got one more person coming in. And I promise it does calm down at a certain point. You've just joined us and you've got a phone number ending in 276. And if you could unmute for a moment and tell me your full name, please.
Lisa Trevino.
Okay, Ms. Trevino, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay, I'm going to mute you again, but I'll make sure and keep track of you now for purposes of the meeting.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. And the person named Corin is still trying to connect. I think we've got a better, well, we've got just one more. Sometimes people get the time slightly off. You can see it causes just as much disruption as it would if we were in an actual courtroom. That part seems to be unavoidable. Galaxy A10E, you just entered. If I could ask you, see if you can get your audio going. Gentleman has a cap on, a ball cap on, and some glasses. Probably can't hear me yet. There we go. Okay, well, I'm just going to begin. It's not connected, but so what I want to do is just give you kind of a rundown. Oh, person named Corin is now connected. Could you give me your full name, please? Corrin. What is your name, please? And I've just asked you to start your video. Corrin. Could you tell me your name, please? Yes, hi. Gentleman with the beard.
Hello,
Yes. Hi, what is your name, please?
my name is Morgan Swenson.
Okay, Mr. Swenson, there you are. Thank you. I'm just going to change that name to Swenson for purposes of this meeting. It'll revert back when you log off later, but I don't want to lose your place in line. Thank you. And I will go ahead and remute you and begin my conversation that I have with everybody. So when you're given a ticket or issued a citation, those are all methods that we have under the law for accusing someone. That is what a ticket is. It's an accusation. And when you give a plea, you're giving your answer or response to that accusation. There are three options for pleading: guilty, not guilty, and no contest. Now, if you plead guilty, you're saying, I did this. If you plead not guilty, you're disagreeing, you're contesting the charge. And I'll talk more about that in a moment. You have the right to do that. And if you plead no contest, you're allowing the court to find you guilty without saying, I did it or didn't do it. Okay. So if you plead guilty or no contest, we're moving forward with sentencing today. And at that point, there are still 4 ways to keep the item off your record that I have available from the bench. And I'll talk about those shortly. If you plead not guilty, you're just exercising the rights that you have. And that ultimately means you're disagreeing with the ticket such that the state will need to prove that case. And you have the right to ask to have that happen. Now, when you do that, though, that goes a different direction. Obviously, we wouldn't be sentencing you. What's happening at that point is we're moving toward trial. And you have the right to a trial. We all do. And if you plead not guilty, the first step is a pretrial on Zoom. That docket is meeting today, and everybody's here on that docket today, and we'll be juggling the dockets. Ms. Warren is here. She represents the state of Texas in those cases. She's waved her hand so that you know who she is. And that will actually be a breakout room, which I will create in just a moment. And people will be invited to join that breakout room, have that pretrial without having to come to court. If the case is not resolved at that point, and sometimes they are, sometimes they're not, you'll have a second date that's already been given to you, and you'll be coming in for live pretrial at that point. And at that point, we're setting a bond, we're deciding what kind of trial and addressing any preliminary pretrial matters and moving that case one further step toward trial. So that's a second meeting, and that meeting is live. Okay. If you're on the pretrial if you're on the regular docket today and you have not yet entered a plea, I will ask for your plea or confirm your plea. And then at that point, there are still 4 ways to keep the item off your record. Let me talk about that briefly. One, I'm going to list them first, and then I'm going to explain them. Okay. One is if you have something that can be dismissed through compliance, bringing the issue up to date. If you have a case like that, I will start trying to get you to that dismissal without waiting. I'm not going to, you don't have to make the request to do it. I'll do it automatically. If you have a question, you certainly can ask it, and you'll have an opportunity to speak as well. But I'm not going to wait for your question. I'm just going to move toward that dismissal option, assuming most people would want a dismissal if they could have one. And if I can get you to that dismissal on that first one, it's the least expensive and easiest one, then I will do that. Those are things, usually equipment violations, like if you had a blinker that was out and you were cited for that problem, if you had a headlight out and you were cited for that problem, it's that sort of thing. And if you have something like that, again, I'll just start looking for the dismissal. You're welcome to ask about it. And if you think I missed something, you're welcome to ask that too. But I will automatically start moving towards that dismissal. Okay. The second is if you have a driver safety course option. The third would be a deferred disposition. The fourth is teen court. So the second one, driver safety course option, again, I automatically assume people might be interested in that. Let me talk to you a little bit about that. If you are a Texas license holder or you are active military or dependent, then you can go to a driver safety course every 12 months and have a case dismissed, a moving violation. Okay. And you have to be on time to court, have the proper license, be a Texas license holder or be active military or dependent. and then not have been in the previous 12 months for purposes of getting a ticket dismissed, and also having been on time to court. Okay. And I will again automatically be looking for those qualifiers because I'm thinking that you might want to consider it. Okay, so let me talk about why, because it saves money and it keeps it off your record, and you don't have to admit guilt in order to do it. So guilty or no contest, you can qualify for that option if you're otherwise qualified. Every ticket in the state of Texas in a Class C setting, which this is, every ticket in a Class C setting has a court cost and a fine, okay? With the driver safety course option, what's unique about it is that you only pay the court costs and the fine will go on hold. Now, let me give you a little background information that might be helpful. The court costs are established by the Texas legislature, which just wrapped up its session. And I don't believe, I haven't read it all yet, but I don't believe we got any court cost increases this time. Hopefully not. But I can't change those if they're set by law. They're set by law. And incidentally, if it changed, you wouldn't be affected by that yet. But the court costs get paid, the fine goes on hold, and if you turn in your driving record and your driving safety course, and it has to be the right record and the right course, but if you get those two things turned in, I dismiss your ticket off of any record, okay? And the fine, which is sitting there on hold, is established by the judge of the court. That would be me. I waive that fine, okay? So you only pay the court costs. Now, they're not cheap. I do know that. They range from 140 to 160, or 169, right? 149 to 169, depending on the type of offense and whether it was in a school zone is what dictates that, those court costs. So sometimes, we're working on when that can get paid because you do have to pay it, okay? But the fine will go on hold, the rest of the amount. So when I'm giving you a number, I'm giving you a whole number, but that includes those court costs plus the fine together, okay? And in a driver safety course option, you just pay the court cost. You get a dismissal. You do pay for your class and your record, but it's still going to be less expensive than paying the whole ticket because under Texas law, what we recognize, and this is actually verifiable, if a person takes a course, they move into a lower bracket of risk. And when you receive a ticket, we actually, statistically as a whole group, if we receive a ticket, we move into a higher bracket of risk. And the driver safety course reduces that back down. So there's a public policy reason why we financially incentivize the issue of taking that course and why you'll find me interested in it. Because as a judge, what interests me is the safety issue. And if the city waives its fine and we get a safer driver, that's mission accomplished as far as I'm concerned, okay? So if you qualify for the course and you want to do it, you'll find me very much working to try to see if you want to do that. And I actually do that on purpose because I think most people are like me. Now, that may not be true, but most people would be like me in the sense that I'm probably interested in my record being clear, and I'm probably interested in saving money where I can save money. And I assume most people are that way too. And I especially assume that in this meeting because you had the option to pay your ticket at the window, and you're here because you either need some information or you might disagree or what have you. But I do assume some things, which is that people are motivated like I am about their income and their record, okay? And there are other motivators, okay? So if I'm driving you toward an option like that I think, well, this person would want to do this because they'd save money, and that's not really working for you, you can let me know, okay? But I just like to disclose up front where I'm kind of coming from is I assume people are like me that way, okay? And I can be wrong about that, so you just let me know. But I look at what's going to be an outright dismissal first. I look at what's driver safety compliance or driver safety course eligible first. The third option then, if the other two don't happen for whatever reason, either you're not qualified or what have you, the third option is a deferred disposition, okay? Now, that means exactly what it says. Deferred means delay, okay? And disposition means to make final. So I accept the plea of guilty or no contest. And in a Class C court, you can ask the judge for a deferred disposition up front. Now, if you go and watch a proceeding over at district or county court, you have to go to the prosecutor to get a deferred request honored, okay? The prosecutor must agree. 99% of the cases in a Class C court, you can go straight to the judge and make that request on a plea of guilty or no contest. And lots of people don't know that. I even get lawyers who don't know that. So I just tell people up front. And the way that you do that is you say guilty or no contest, but I'd like a deferred. Okay. And then the judge would, that would be me, would say yes or no. Okay. If I grant it, and I'm heavily inclined to do that, I will consider it on each and every person's request. Okay. If you make that request, I'll give you a fair shake. Okay. So guilty or no contest, I'd like a deferred. Let's assume I grant it. Then what happens? We put an order in place that tells us what we can all expect. And that's really a contract in a sense. It's you're agreeing to do certain things in that order. And at the bottom of the order, I sign it too. And that's me saying, if you do those things, I'll sign a dismissal. So you have a known outcome. Okay. And that's another motivator for some people, just knowing what's going to happen. Some people just want to have that assurance. Okay. And so deferreds are really good at addressing that. Now we do have to work out costs and fines, and that's really person specific because everybody's situation is different. You know, Joe Blow on the street, I don't know. And so you may have been given a financial affidavit to fill out. If you filled it out, that's going to help me a lot if we go into sentencing mode, because then I know your circumstances. Okay. So I'm looking to do that because one, it helps me make a better decision. And two, it verifies what I'm doing. And I do get audited, and I like to be able to have anyone come look and see what I did and have it be obvious, because I'm a firm believer in transparency. So deferred dispositions, you request them up front. We sort out the details. We get it solved pretty quickly. And I need to collect signatures today on that as well. So everything we're doing today, I'm looking to collect the signature and advance you forward in whatever direction you're choosing to go. Okay. And then the fourth option is for teen court. And that is for high school, middle school, homeschooled students who are working toward the equivalent of a high school diploma. And I think I might have a couple of folks out there who qualify for that. That's my fourth option. And you can see teen court behind me. I'm a firm believer in teen court. Teen court is very successful, and it does address that same issue of safety, public safety issue. And also, if you have a criminal offense, your criminal record, if you're underage or just young and you have a criminal charge, it can deeply affect your future. And we want to help you address that while you address what got you here, and try to curb it so that the young person is taking responsibility as opposed to a parent just coming in and paying for that. I see students again and again whose parents just come in and deal with it for them. Students who come in and engage in teen court, I don't see them almost ever, frankly. It's highly successful, okay? And occasionally they had a traffic ticket 1 year and a theft 2 years later, but I normally don't see them for the same thing, okay? So parents, if you're listening, teen court is a good option, and you're there to support that activity. There might be a few fees and small things to pay for. They will still always be less expensive than the ticket and the conviction, okay? Because we're after helping your young person get back on track and not altering their life, either through physical harm of driving or through, a record that is difficult to get around and have a career option, okay? So those are the four things, okay? We're going to move into each person's specific case. Before I logged everybody in, I noticed who signed in first. I've got you numbered, and we're going to move forward in that direction, try to keep it fair, and we're all just going to listen, learn what we can. You can actually learn from just listening to how things are handled before it's your turn. So I'm asking you to do that, because if you were in live court and here, you don't have to come in and sit through all that. You can be at home or wherever you happen to be. Hopefully not driving. Mr. Tyson, you're not driving, are you? You appear to be driving. Mr. Tyson, are you driving? You're a passenger.
No, ma'am, I'm not. I'm a passenger.
Okay,
I'm
very
actually
good.
on the job.
Okay, I've had people break the law on the camera and I just have to take them out of the meeting. So I'm just verifying because I can tell you're moving, but I see you're a passenger.
I
Sorry for,
appreciate that.
sorry for the confusion. I just want to keep everybody safe. Okay, so let me get that breakout room going without further ado, as they say. And I'm going to start. Candace Ellis is the first person in there. Let's see, with Ms. Warren. And Ms. Warren's already been introduced, and she'll head into that meeting here in a second, in a full moment. And then Ms. Ellis, Candace Ellis, let me find you. You were here. Where did you go? I don't see you. Miss Ellis,
Yes, ma'am.
there you are. I'm just looking. There you are. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. Okay, just accept that. Now, remember when you break off into that room, before you leave today, before you log out, which is leaving, you're coming back in here so we can verify what's going on and so that I can bless whatever they do. Okay, so don't leave, come back in here. But right now, you're receiving an assignment or a request to join that room. Go ahead and click and join it. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you, ma'am. And then I'm just going to go ahead and start. Rashawania Kindred, you were first to log in. And I had a chance to look at your file before we started this morning. And let me find you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. There you are. Could you unmute? Ms. Kindred?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Are you able to, so we might have spotty coverage and I hope we can communicate. There you are. You're moving again. So I want to communicate with you. I did get your note and that you had pled guilty on both the charges of running a stop sign and on the failure to maintain financial responsibility. That's an insurance ticket. And do you understand the nature of those charges, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And those were the stop sign charge. Yes, ma'am. The stop sign charge was December 4th of 2020. And the insurance charge was November 27th of 2019. And the cases have gone to warrant. We can get you to a resolution. It won't happen overnight, but I did review everything. Let me just confirm you've pled guilty on both of those charges. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then I did review your financial information that you were kind enough to fill out for me. Thank you for that. And what it looks like to me is that you're eligible, yes, ma'am, to do the community service and work off your fines and costs that way. And so what I want to do is, you are in Temple, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you to come on up to the building, the court building. You'll be here just very briefly and sign off on it, and we'll get your warrants off the table. I'll recall them today.
Okay.
And you'll pick up all the paperwork. We have a packet that we do for community service where you're able to look for a provider in the community. It can be any nonprofit, but I have a list of suggestions that I know are friendly to the request. And if you'll come on up and sign off on that, we'll get your warrants off. You'll have 60 days. It's 41 hours. If you wind up needing, yes, ma'am. If you wind up needing more time, you can come in or email or fax or drop a letter, but always follow up. If you don't get a written confirmation, like with an email, we email you back. Call if you send a letter, everybody, and call if you send a fax, and make sure that what you think is happening, okay? But if you email, you'll get a reply, and if you wind up needing more time, you can make a request to get more time. But right now, I've got a due date of August 2nd to try to get that done. And once you get that done, there's a hold on your license, and I'll release it. So the sooner, the better, okay?
Okay.
And I'm accepting both of your pleas at this point. And then when can you be here?
I can come right now.
Okay. It'll be ready relatively shortly. We should have that up at the front desk in a little bit. You don't rush, okay? Probably 15 to 30
Okay.
minutes. We can have that there, all the paperwork ready for you to pick up, sign, and go, okay?
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Can I leave?
You can leave. I'm gonna remove you. No further questions?
Okay. Thank you so. No, ma'am.
Okay, if you read your
Thank
paperwork.
you so much.
Yes, if you read your paperwork at the front and you have more questions, the clerk will answer or give you over to me to get answers, okay?
All righty.
Have a
All
great
righty.
day.
Have a good
All right.
one.
Bye-bye, you too.
Bye bye.
Okay, just moving on. Danica Mack, Ms. Mack, I'm gonna ask you, good morning, ma'am, to unmute and
Good
we'll
morning.
have a conversation, okay?
Okay.
Let me review quickly. It looks like got a plea on one case. Are all these pending without pleas? I've got a plea on the speeding charge. This first charge is a stop March, well, they're all March 28th, okay? And there is a speeding charge and it has fines and costs of $259. And I have a written plea of no contest. Is that your plea at this time, Ms. Mack?
Yes.
Okay. And then there is a seatbelt charge to a passenger. Fines and costs are $234. How are you pleading to that charge?
No contest.
Okay. And then also a plea for a violation of your license restriction. Fines and costs are $181. How are you pleading to that charge?
No contest.
Now that one is interesting. You're actually on time to court. And my first question to you at this point is that restriction, I would think that restriction is about to go away or is eligible to be removed. Are you able to get that restriction off of your license?
I have to take the in the car driving test.
Are you scheduled to do that yet?
No.
That one, you could pay a $20 fee and have that case dismissed, okay? And I could give you 30 days to try to do that. Do you see a problem with getting that done? Do you want to do that?
I can do that.
See, this is one of those things where I'm driving you to a solution that I think I would want. Do you want that solution for yourself?
I do.
Okay, so I can extend you on that case to July 1st. And at that point, if you got that removed, you would be eligible for a driver safety course on the speeding. If you probably, let me ask you a question. Have you been to a driver safety course in the previous 12 months for purposes of getting a ticket dismissed?
No.
Okay, so I think we could extend that one as well. And we might just go ahead and extend everything to make it simpler. I'll note your pleas in the file, but right now I'm going to extend you and not sentence and give you the opportunity to maybe have a better chance at it. What would happen on the speeding, though, what I'd be looking to do in about a month is you bring your license in, we dismiss one of your tickets. Hopefully you can pay the court costs by then, which I do believe are $149 on that speeding. And you save about $100 on that one. And then on the passenger child situation, you know, that's just straight in, but it's not a moving violation, so it doesn't affect your insurance. And you could get the case, the speeding case could be dismissed and you would save about $100. Are you interested in doing that?
Yes.
Okay. You'll think about whether you can pay the $149 when you're coming back in July. But right now, focus would be on getting that license first. And if we need to give you more time on the speeding, I can work with you on that. It's just a question of how much time do you want to give us. But right now I'm looking then at giving you an extension. And I can either email that to you, and if you can print it and sign it and either take a picture and send it back to us, legible picture through email, or print it, sign it, and scan it back over to us. That's certainly the most convenient. if you can't do either of those things, we'd ask you to come by this morning. What's going to work best for you?
I can print it and send it back.
Okay, so we'll email that to you probably in the next 15 to 20 minutes. The email that we used to set the meeting up today, is that the best email for you?
Yes, it is.
Okay, give us a good half hour and we'll get that sent over to you, okay? It's an
Okay, thank you.
extension and you need to stay on time. You've been on time, which is great because it's why you have these options. That's because you've been on time, right? So stay on time. If you find a conflict with the date, come in ahead of time and ask the clerk to give you more time and let's do it on the books, okay? I don't want
Okay.
you to miss the opportunities we're scheduling you to have, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll send you that extension. We need it back today, and that should be in your inbox here shortly, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You have any questions, Ms. Mack?
No, I didn't.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I'm gonna go ahead and remove you if you're okay with that.
Okay.
Thank you. So we just email an extension. Thank you. Just one moment. So moving forward, let's see, let me just clean up my paperwork a tiny bit. Ms. Kindred has been addressed. Aaron Simmons, let's go ahead and look at your case. Let me get you to Mr. Simmons. I see you, or I saw you. There you are. And I'll ask you to unmute. I'm also going to ask you to start your video, please, sir.
You hear me?
I can hear you. Hi, Mr. Simmons. Good morning. So we have a few things to get to address, and give me just a moment to look at everything. Let's see. We have 3 charges, and one is for insurance, one is for paraphernalia, and one is for the transportation of loose material. And I have pleas from you on all 3. And I just want to confirm that you have pled no contest on each of these.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll accept your plea. And it actually looks to me from reviewing your file, you're eligible for community service. And I'm going to go ahead, unless you have an objection, and order that community service. Any objection? Aaron, are you good with that?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. I'm just making sure, okay? So just in looking at that, let me calculate the hours. Okay, it turns into 38 hours of community service due by August 2nd. And can you get up here to make a, to give me your signature on the community service paperwork?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I'll recall, I don't think I have warrants for you, actually. You missed court, but you didn't quite go to warrant yet. Okay, I do have a hold on your license. So as soon as I can get these hours completed, then I can go ahead and clear that hold on the license, okay?
Okay.
Can you get up here within the next hour?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll accept your pleas. I'll order that you work off your fines and costs through community service. I'm entering your pleas and finding you guilty, but ordering 38 hours of community service due by August 2nd. If you need more time, if you come up on that date and find that you need more time, you'll need to get back in to request an extension. Otherwise, I expect your hours in or I sign a warrant. So please keep up with it and we'll give you your paperwork. It'll include a timesheet to keep track of your hours and places you can go, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Do you have any questions, Mr. Simmons?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and when can we look for you? In the next hour?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I'll remove
Thank
you,
you.
okay? Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye. And Ms. Warren, I see that you're ready with Cadence Ellis and Miss Ellis. Let me find you again. I believe that's you. Yes, you're unmuted, so that's good. Okay, Miss Ellis, if you could, and Miss Warren, if I could hear from you, are we heading to resolution? Or are we heading to trial?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
Okay.
Mr. Ellis, the child's father, has asked for teen court for his daughter, but only on the condition that he not pay any costs. And the state doesn't agree that he should not pay costs.
Right.
But that is up to you, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm gonna work with them and I'll move you forward with Ms. Moore. Betty Moore is your next person. And Ms. Moore, I think I see you here still. And the Ellis family, just hang on a moment. Ms. Moore, I'm gonna move you. I'll send an invitation to that breakout room. Ms. Moore, are you driving? No, you're just sitting. Okay, very good. Okay, now with the Ellis family, the only way I can accommodate a financial concern is if you fill out your paperwork. And we did send financial affidavit paperwork. We didn't get it back. And I can email that to you now and you can fill it out and I can see what the financial consideration issue is. You know, are y'all going to work with the court or do you want to go to the trial and see if they find you guilty? If they do, though, the fine and costs are $234. So I do need to make you aware of that.
Can you also make me aware of what the teen court costs are?
$20.
We'll take it.
Okay, now I need to hear from Miss Ellis. Miss Ellis, Candace, on the disregarding the traffic control device, how are you pleading? Your options are guilty, not guilty, or no contest. Are you aware of those options? Do you know what those mean?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how are you pleading?
No contest.
Okay. And so with teen court, there is that $20 fee and it has to get paid today in cash. Can you pay that fee today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then there is actually a course that you will have to pay for. I don't know y'all's financial situation. It's probably $50 or under. It would be due the course in 30 days or less. And if you turn it in on time, I dismiss the charge and waive the $234. Are y'all interested in doing that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The due date right now is July 1st. And I'm gonna need y'all to come up. I see y'all are in Temple. When can you be here today?
20 minutes.
Okay. You'll come in. We encourage face covering, but come on in. You won't be here more than about 10 or 15 minutes. You'll sign off all the paperwork. We will have a flyer included about the course and how to do the course, which you can do online or around town. You can choose, okay? But
Yes.
it will be a driver safety course that you'll take, okay? With teen court, I want it in faster because young people who get tickets move into the #1 bracket of injury and death on the highway. Texas, sadly, is the #1 state to be a young person and either die or get disfigured in a traffic offense. So we want to do that quickly, Candace, to make you safer, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We'll see y'all when you get here, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I'm going to put that right here for you. Thank you. Okay. Moving on forward. Let's see. Let me just, I like to keep track of what's happening. Murphy Tyson. Mr. Tyson, I'll ask you to unmute. And if you're moving in a moving vehicle, we may have some difficulty with the audio, but let's try, see how far we can get. You'll have to, yes, there we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Good morning.
I want to say right up front, excuse me, because your audio is kind of low.
Yeah,
so, like,
the reason for that is you're in
I can hear them.
Yeah, the reason that's happening is you're in a moving car. your best option.
Well, everybody else that's been on here this morning is I've heard them really well.
Yeah,
Like,
I understand, but I'm also the coordinator of the meeting and my bandwidth is everybody here. And theirs is one person. So, you know, if you don't like it, that's fine. We can schedule you a different way, but
well, no, I'm just letting
I'm
you
just
know
going to
if
tell you
I,
that I will do my best to work with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
no, I was just letting you know if I ask you to repeat something, that's why. I just want to let you know. So
Same is true for me.
yes, ma'am. I appreciate
Okay.
that.
So there's a misuse of a handicap placard. It's from December 20th of 2015. The
Yes, ma'am.
fines and costs are at $776.10. I first need to ask, how are you pleading to the charge?
I guess deferred disposition.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I need to get a plea first, guilty, not guilty, or no contest. You pled no contest on your paper.
yeah,
I'm just confirming that.
Yes, okay, that's yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll confirm and accept that plea. And move forward. Now, right now, you're telling me you're at work, and then the information I have here, but this is older information, is that at the time you filled this out, you weren't working, but you're working now, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. I just started a job a couple of weeks ago.
Congratulations, I'm glad to hear that.
Well, it's a weather related, so we haven't been working much.
Yeah, I understand that. The weather's gotten us all down a little bit maybe, but we'll be grateful enough down the road in Texas. So where are you working?
I'm working for a company called Nixon Engineering. We do traffic control for TxDOT, work areas.
Okay. And have you been paid yet?
I've gotten a couple of small paychecks. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So like my one for last week was one day.
Okay. What is your hourly pay?
$12.
Okay. Are you paid every 2 weeks?
Every week.
Every week. What day of the week?
We usually come down to Bryan and pick up our checks on Thursdays.
On Thursdays. And at the time that you filled out this paperwork, you did not list any children. Do you have children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm sorry, the paperwork said, the way I understood it was asking like, me and her mother are divorced and she's got primary custody.
Are you ordered to pay child support?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm actually sleeping on her couch and I help, that's why I didn't know exactly how to fill out the bill information, because what it is, for the last 5 years, I've been working contract jobs, temp jobs, whenever I could. I've worked every hour I could.
Yes.
And, every time she asked me for money to help for bills, that's what I've been doing, but it hadn't been a set amount every month. So.
Okay. All right. I understand. And I did read your letter. Everything's kind of been going to that one effort with the IRS. I guess what I'm wondering is, I'm inclined right now, if I move to a community service approach, would you be able to find the time to do the community service?
Would it have to be in Bell County?
No, it would have to be at a nonprofit under Texas law.
Okay, well, I don't have any transportation right now. I'm broke, homeless, and don't have a vehicle. That's one of the reasons I'm trying to get my driver's license back. I've had all kinds of good job offers, but like the city of Cameron wants to interview me, but I got to have a driver's license. There's a good water utility company here that I worked for before that They got some job openings coming up this summer. I got to have a driver's license, and so I'm just trying to,
Yeah, I have the ability to do a couple of things, okay?
yes, ma'am.
In your case, I can order community service, which would be 39 hours. If you got that done and turned it into me, I'd zero out your balance and you would be done. And I would
Okay.
release your license. I can lower your fines and order payments, and I can lower your fines and order low payments, but I can't release the license until I zero out your balance.
Yes, ma'am.
So community service, if you could do it at a church or a nonprofit in your community, would be your fastest route out of here, and you're qualified for me to make that accommodation.
Well, if there's something in Cameron that I can do, I'd be more than happy to do it.
Well, they have churches, they have Goodwill. I've gotten things from there. I've gotten things from the city. I've gotten things from the schools, the library, and the animal control people out there with the county. So I get community service out of Cameron, but you're
Yeah.
going to have to look for the opportunity. And I need to get your signature today sometime before 5. So I have to,
Okay. Can I? Well, I don't have any way to get up to Temple, so is there any way I
yeah,
can do
I
that
can email it
electronically?
to you. I can email it to you, but you'd
Okay.
have to print it and sign it and take a picture and email it back to me
Okay.
of the whole document.
I can probably do that. I know the ladies at the library pretty well. I can probably get in there and get them to let me print it out.
You can probably do your community service with them too.
Well, and I know the lady that runs the animal control there in Cameron too. I'd be more than happy to go out there on weekends and help her clean kennels, whatever. So,
Yeah. So I think that's your best route out of the predicament. I will email you all the information today. There's only
I
one
appreciate
piece of
that.
paper. There's only one piece of paper that I need a signature from on the paper
Yeah.
back today. So you're printing it all out, but the one paper has a signature, you're signing and emailing it back to me today. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And then just get your service done. I'm giving you till August 2nd, but the moment you get it to me, I'll start verifying it and trying to clear you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any questions?
Not at this time. No, ma'am. I appreciate it.
Okay. We'll use the email that we used to set up your meeting today. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
I appreciate it, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Tyson.
You have a good rest of the day.
You too, sir. Bye-bye.
I
Keep it up.
apologize for being all this inconvenience.
Yeah, well, you're getting there. So that's the best possible deal. And I wish you every success.
I appreciate that.
Yes. Okay. Bye-bye. One moment. Something fell. There we go. Okay. He is, I'll be right with you all, I promise. 39 hours. And look for him to email back the signature page and put a big X where we want him to sign, so it's obvious. Maybe put it on top. Make it a little easier for him. Okay, I'm going to call my docket because I am done and everyone else is here for, oops, Mr. Tyson, I was actually excusing you. Let me remove you. Let's try it again. Okay. And let's see, I've got someone down here who's just not even, I'm going to ask you to unmute. You're unlabeled, unnamed. I don't know who you are. And I don't know. I just asked you to unmute. While I'm waiting to see if they'll unmute. Angelia Appling, are you here? That's a no-show. Elizabeth Bavard, are you here?
Yes, ma'am, I am here.
Okay, where are you, ma'am?
I'm at Belton High School.
Right, I'm trying to find you on my screen.
I'm on the phone because I could not get my Zoom on my laptop here in the office to work. But
Is
I
your
had sent an
phone- is your
email in trying to
phone-
reschedule.
Yeah, is your phone ending in 220?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and this is for a speeding charge?
Yes, ma'am.
And let me just look, you have pled no contest? No, you've pled guilty, and you're looking for a payment plan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me see what we can do. That will be fine. I want to make sure it's appropriate on my end. And you're working at Belton High School?
Yes, ma'am. I'm the registrar here, and it's very loud because it's senior walk day, and I apologize, but I've
My
got my door.
goodness. Oh, my goodness. Let me ask you a question. Do your
Yes.
grandchildren, are they living with you?
Yes, ma'am, they are. Currently I have temporary custodial care for them. Their mother's not available.
Okay. I also had childcare, $300 a month. Are you paying that?
I pay
for
that.
them?
I
Okay.
pay that weekly to a young lady who picks them up from Head Start for me. Yes, I have to pay that.
Okay, you put that you pay it monthly, but you're saying it's weekly?
It's weekly. It adds up about to 300. And it's sometimes it's 65, sometimes it's 85 a week. It has as much as she cares for them. Sometimes when they're sick, she has to care for them longer. So I put roughly that, but it averages out about 75 a week.
Okay, are you getting any
No, ma'am. I'm getting no help. There's no CPS involved. This is just my daughter's out of town, and so I'm caring for them, and she does not work. So I'm
Okay. What I was trying to ask you is, are you getting food stamps?
No, ma'am. I don't qualify.
Okay.
They told me I don't qualify.
Okay, well, I don't have any control over them.
Yeah, don't worry. It's okay. I do the best I can. We're good.
Right. What I want to tell you is that you qualify for community service instead.
And the only concern with that is I have no child care. I moved here in 2019. That was my only, if I can take my girls with me, take the grandchildren with me, that would be great. But I don't have weekend care and after-hour care.
Okay, and then you're just, the whole time you work, they're in community service or they're with you. I mean, sorry, the whole time you're working, that's the only time they're in care?
Yes, they start Head Start at 8:15. My school has been wonderful to adjust my hours. I come in here by 8:30 and I leave at 5. The program ends at 2:45, and that's where the young girl through my church picks them up and takes them home, and I pick them up from her about 5:30.
Okay.
We get home, we do our routine, and I get them to bed, and then I'm in bed.
Okay.
And on the weekends would be the
okay.
only time on a Saturday.
Yeah, right. Well, there are places that will do weekends, but I've had no luck finding places that let people bring children. No, I've tried. I have really tried.
When you said the library, I thought, well, the library, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. They normally, yeah, you can bring children, but I don't think you can bring children and do community service.
Yeah.
Because they're concerned about supervising.
Exactly.
And so what I would tell you is I can lower your fines, but the case went to warrant, and a lot of the fees that have been assigned to your case
I know.
have mandatory, hold on a second, because if we both talk, it cancels. And I can't take most of those off. Let me look real quickly and see what I can do. Can we look at the little pie chart? And I can do a low payment.
I'd appreciate anything you can. I apologize, but I just completely forgot about it. I haven't had a ticket in so many years. It's my responsibility, and I just really dropped the ball.
Okay, well, I appreciate you saying that. Just one moment. Take the fine down to $50. We're going to do a reduction of the fines from $200 to $50. And then I'm going to ask you to make a minimum monthly payment of $25.
Okay.
Unless you would prefer to try the community service first.
No, I've got to find a way to pay it off because I don't know of any place that would let me take the children. I mean, I'm with you. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know the area well enough to even know places.
You do have a warrant. I need a signature today, and I'll recall the warrant.
Okay, can you email me or fax me and I can fax it from?
Just stop for a moment and let me finish. I'll email everything over to you. And if you can you email it back to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, with the signature. And then
Yes.
what I'll do is it's $25 a month. Now, I've worked for the state of Texas before. Are y'all paid on the 25th or the 1st?
The 25th.
Okay. And so we can just begin that on the 25th. Let me just double check and see when that's going to happen. Right. Friday, the 25th will begin. Okay.
Okay.
And so your payment plan we'll email that to you, review it, and sign it and send it back. And then I'll recall your warrants.
Thank you.
Okay. And I'm just making a note, always on the 25th. Okay. Ms. Bavard, do you have any further questions?
No, I thank you.
Thank you. We'll email that to you probably in the next 45 minutes or so.
I will look for it. Have a good day. Appreciate
Thank you. Appreciate you. Okay. Let's see. I did call for Jane Appling, and I did not get a response. So I'm counting that as a no-show. If you're here, please speak up like Ms. Bavard did. I do have someone with a phone number ending in 824. Could you unmute yourself and tell me who you are, please? You're on a phone call, phone number ending 824. Can you unmute and tell me who you are, please? Okay, I'm going to keep moving forward. Jane Gonzalez, are you here? She was having some phone issues. And I was hoping the 824 was her. I'll come back to her. Mr. Horn, Ethan Horn.
Yes,
Let's visit. Good morning. Can you unmute?
yeah.
Yeah, you are. Okay, and you're 18 today?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you go to school?
Academy, but I just graduated.
Okay, you weren't graduated May 4th though when your ticket happened, right?
Yeah, no, ma'am.
Okay. So now my question for you first is, you have pled no contest, and this was to a speeding charge of May 4th, where the fines and costs are $259. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I have 2 papers on that. Are you working at this time?
No, not yet.
Okay. I am looking at teen court. There is a $20 teen court fee and then a class that you would take. It would save you $259. Can you pay those fees today?
Yeah, and that goes off your record too, right?
That's correct.
Oh yeah, sounds good.
And then your class due, your family can help you.
Mm-hmm.
Class would be due July 1st.
Okay.
And I do need to collect your signature today. I can, with teen court, we do have to collect cash. So I'm going to ask you to make the trip, okay?
Okay, that sounds good.
When can you get here?
I can come in today in like,
It has to be today. What time are we looking at?
I guess like an hour.
Okay, an hour will be great. Closer to 11-ish.
Yeah.
Okay, great. We'll get your paperwork ready. We'll have it at the clerk's desk. It will direct you to a class online that you can take. If you want to take a driver safety course around town instead, you certainly can. That knocks it out, you know, and they sort of guide you. But either way, for me, I just want a course approved for ticket dismissal in Texas because I know it's going to address the concerns I have for safety, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, and so just bring a $20 fee and then sign off on your paperwork. Get your certificate back to us by July 1st. Okay?
Okay. And where is it? It's just Temple Court, right?
Temple Court is at 401 North 3rd Street, Temple.
Okay.
We are a catty corner somewhat to the downtown fire station, or we're where you pay your water bill. A lot of people know it's that way.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Drive safely on your way. Okay. Almost missed him. Glad I didn't skip that. Okay. So Mr. Horn. And then I have a person named, still trying to see if I can get this person down here at the bottom. Phone number. Phone number ending in 824. Are you there? Person on the phone? Hello? Phone number ending in 824. So I'm actually at the point where I may just remove you because I don't know who you are. And I don't think we're communicating because you're not responding. I'll call you.
I am Jesus Viela, but I'm just.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Oh, yeah. What was his name? Are you Mr. Villela?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you on that phone as well?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I was just responding because I've never done this before, and I know my last numbers are 4653.
Right. You're not on a phone though. You're on a Galaxy A10e, right?
Yes, ma'am. What's
Okay.
up? Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm actually about to get to you, so please don't worry.
Okay, sorry about
It'll
that.
be okay. I'll work with you.
That's
Barbara.
my first time. I've never done this before, so thank you. Bear with me.
Oh, no problem. Barbara Arizari. Okay, right now that's appears to be a no-show. I'll come back to that. Okay, Mr. Villa. How would you say it? Villela or Villela?
There you go, Viela.
Say it again.
Viela.
Viela.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Hi,
Excellent.
Mr. Viela. How are you this morning?
I'm okay, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, let me review your paperwork. Yeah, they hung up. I don't think the connection was good. Maybe they'll get back on. Okay, so I have a speeding charge. It's for March 25th, 2016. And I have a no contest plea. And I just want to confirm that is your plea today.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll accept your plea. We'll talk about sentencing in a moment. I'm going to move to your other cases for a moment. Just confirm the pleas that you have given me. There's an expired registration charge, and that one has fines and costs of $331.50. It's for all the way back March 25th as well, 2016. And I have a no contest plea. Is that your plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll accept that plea and just move forward to the last one. Nope, there are two more. One is same date of stop, March 25th, 2016, no insurance. It's called failure to maintain financial responsibility. And the fines and costs there are $456.30. How are you pleading?
No contest, Your Honor.
Thank you. Sorry, you wrote it down. I'm just confirming, and I'll accept that plea. And then the last one is for just not coming to court. We call that a violation of the promise to appear, and you've pled no contest. Is that your plea today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. And then just moving on forward with that, having accepted those pleas, and at this time finding you guilty of those offenses, you're with the Department of Defense, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. How long have you been there?
June 13th will be 5 years, roughly 5 or 6.
Okay. And you're paid every 2 weeks?
Yes, ma'am.
What day of the week do they pay you folks?
It's on Fridays. Every bi-monthly, every Friday. Bi-weekly, sorry.
Bi-weekly, every 2 weeks
Yes,
on
ma'am.
Fridays. Okay. And then are you able to pay anything towards your balance today?
Yes, Your Honor, I was hoping you have some type of reduction and I'll pay everything. Whatever you leave me with, I'll pay it today.
Okay. I'm just looking at everything that you've told me about what's happening with your bills.
Yeah.
And are you the only income to your home?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and the bills that you've listed are correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand?
Yes.
Do you swear or affirm that the information you've given me is true, correct, and accurate, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, so you're looking to clear today is what you'd like to do,
Yes, Your Honor.
and requesting reductions to maybe make that a little bit easier to get done.
That will be a blessing.
Okay, I would say let's take the fine off the VPTA and cut the fine on the insurance case in half. Okay, so Mr.
You had
Vilela,
it.
Vilela,
You
Vilela. Okay, I'm gonna mute you again just for a moment and work with another person while I let a clerk do those reductions for me, okay?
Thank you.
Don't go away. I'll be right
I
back.
won't. I won't.
Okay, thank you. Okay, 824 trying to come on in. Let's see if we can get there. Hi, are you on the phone? While I'm trying to do that, Ramona Willis, I don't see you here. Just double checking. And I think this is who's trying to get in, Jane Gonzalez. Ms. Gonzalez, is that you on the phone? I'm gonna look and see if that's her phone number. You don't do that. You work on that issue. I'm looking. Let's see. It is. She's there, but she can't seem to hear us. Or she can hear us and can't get the system to let her respond. Well, she's trying. I'm going to try chatting with her and seeing if that works. No, it won't even let me do that. I'm going to try to call her after court. We'll see. Maybe we can manage it. Okay, Ms. Gonzalez, for whatever reason, it's not working, and I'm going to actually remove you and try calling you here shortly. Can you unmute? Okay, I'm going to try calling her. Let me review her file first. Okay, Ms. Warren, Ms. Moore. Ms. Warren, I'll go ahead and ask you, do we have a resolution?
Kind of, Your Honor. This is a code enforcement situation
Yes.
that's been going on for a while, but Ms. Moore has expressed that her intentions are to comply. She does understand that she is guilty under the current requirements of law and wants to change her plea to no contest. There's also been some more cases filed since the initial proceedings, and she expressed entering no contest pleas on those as well.
Okay.
And then we move forward. I told her that at this point, that I can stay in the case, even though technically she's pled that no contest, to ensure that we get to compliance.
Right, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So
we probably just need to set a some type of date where we can come back and you can kind of see what progress they may have made.
Right now, we've got Ms. Moore scheduled to come in on the 14th of July. And even though that may not be done, finished by then, that's about 44 days. And so I think let's stick to that. It's at 2 o'clock. And Ms. Moore, we're expecting you in the court building on that date. And we'll have an update from code enforcement about where things are with your violation and hopefully maybe getting to a point where they're not going to keep filing on you. And then we can talk sentencing at that point. So right now, even though your pleas have changed, I'm going to keep you on that not guilty docket right now, just to keep your dates going where we come in and have you visit with us on the 14th of July, okay?
Okay. Now, does this does this help us get the permits that we've requested?
I don't have any control over the permitting department at all. They're not connected to me, and I don't know of the permits that you've requested or anything about those. I just know about the cases that have been filed here. I am actually ignorant of the city's policy with regard to permits and whether they deny permits because of code enforcement cases that are pending. I do not know. What I know is that, you know, Ms. Warren is possibly looking to help you have a bit of a break here, but also deeply concerned with not having more court involvement, wanting to get this, you know, stopped at a point so that we can wrap this up into something that makes a little more sense. Because right now the balance is at over $6,500. And so I think what we need to do is get compliance and then see what we might do that would make sense as far as a sentence goes, that would make, you know, common sense, and apply that common sense once we see that we're not going to keep getting more cases. And I believe she's clarified for you what needs to happen for that in terms of getting to a point where you're no longer in violation so that they stop filing cases. And we want to check on that and give you some time to get to that place and then visit with us July 14th at 2 o'clock, which is your scheduled time to be here, okay?
And let y'all know what updates have been made. Is that correct?
You can give us, yeah.
And I did suggest that Miss Moore have a meeting because she is stressing an issue with permitting. But I think if we all come to the table before the 14th so that she is 100% clear of what she needs to do, the court can then be clear of the opportunity that she's received before you continue on to sentencing.
Yes, makes sense. Ms.
Okay,
Moore, do you understand?
I think I do.
Okay, we will see you then in July on the 14th at 2. And hopefully I will have good information that lets me impose sentence at that time and takes into account, what I anticipate to be some work on your part, to get
Thank
to a
you.
place where this is going to go better. Okay.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you,
Ms.
ma'am.
Moore.
Good luck.
We'll see you in July.
I'll be in
okay?
touch.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Ms. Warren, for that.
Hmm.
And Ms. Warren, and Ms. Moore, I'm going to actually remove you from the meeting. We'll see you July 14th at 2, okay?
Okay,
Thank you, ma'am.
uh-huh.
And Ms. Warren, your next person is actually Walter Santos. And Mr. Santos, you'll want to get onto visual. There you go. And then go on into that meeting. And let me sign this. And then I want to address one quick thing with the group. And Ms. Warren, Mr. Santos has gone ahead and gone over, and you can go ahead as well. I think you should have that invite. Thank you so much. And then that one did take a long time. I know they don't always take that long, but there are like 14 cases pending. Mr. Santos is obviously in the room. And then our next order would be Robert Wasaki, Lisa Trevino, and Mr. Swenson. Okay. So just letting y'all know nobody's forgotten you. And I haven't forgotten you either, Mr. Villela. I'll be right back with you. Are we close? Those just take some time doing reductions. It's labor intensive. We wish it wasn't, but it is. I'm going to call Ms. Gonzalez. Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Hi, this is Judge Person.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, I have reviewed all your information and I've accepted your plea on the case. And I'm going to order community service instead of payments for this.
Okay.
And it would be 13 hours and it won't be due until July 1st.
Okay.
And I do need to get your signature on the order. Can you come by today?
They're the same place.
Yes, ma'am.
103rd.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. Can you head on over?
Okay. Just go by there and sign a paper.
Yes, and you'll pick up a packet that will explain to you how to do the community service, okay?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Just wanted you to know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Right. That's part of it, because she's saying that it's $50, right? So if the fine is $50, you can automatically let that out. Okay, so this one doesn't have corrections. So you have to look at, your fine and costs. So all you would do is. So you put $50 because that's not a fees for learn. You took the $50 for fees because that's all it is. And then you gotta call the warrant because the warrant is into the warrant. Yes, you can put it before, but you can't do any changes. So your court costs, so your fine is $200. Okay, it's going from the other end. So you're gonna take $150 off the fee. No, you take one, no. It's $200. Here's this one. Okay, Ms. Warren, don't mean to delay you. Working with Mr. Santos, are we in any kind of agreement or are we heading to trial?
Mr. Santos has agreed to a deferred. There's no class and he will pay today.
Okay, Mr. Santos, the speeding charge has fines and costs of $254. You're paying that today?
Correct.
Okay. And no class ordered. And then that changes that. It drops it to a shorter deferred because we don't have to track it for as long. So that turns into 90 days. I do need to collect a signature today. I can either have you come by, see you're in Heights. We can email that to you. And if you're able to sign it and email it back, and then you can go online or call in and make payment either way. Do you want to come by or do you want to go ahead and email everything back and make payment electronically?
Yes, ma'am. And thank you. So I actually work in Temple, and I'm right up the street from you guys, so I don't think
Great.
it'd be an issue for me to swing through.
Okay, when should we look for you?
I could be there at around 11:30-ish.
Okay, that'll be fine. Sometime this morning. We
Yes,
should have
ma'am.
your paperwork at the front desk. I will have already signed it so that when you sign it, they can make a copy for you, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
If I may,
Yes.
so I go to the same place and
Yes.
sign the paperwork, pay the fine, and that's it?
That's gonna be it. As long as you don't get more tickets and you don't get arrested for anything else, keep your address current with us until everything's done. And if it were my case, I would call 2 weeks ahead of the end date, which will be on your order, and just make sure there wasn't any hiccup. Okay?
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. Here's that reduction. Here's Mr. Santos. And Ms. Warren, we're moving you forward, advancing you forward. Lisa Trevino appears to be on the phone, and I'm sending her that invitation to join you in that breakout room. And it does look like she has joined that room. And Ms. Warren will join her there. Okay. Here's that deferred. Okay. Looks like we've completed Mr. Delega. have we completed the reductions for Mr. Vallela? Okay. Okay, good. I ordered 2. So what I said was on the BPTA, take the fine completely off. On the FMFR, take the fine into half. Okay. No problem. Okay, still working on that. Ms. Warren?
Trevino cannot unmute their mic, so I
Okay.
wasn't sure what to do.
Okay, I think that if we can't communicate, that's a problem because I can't disconnect her. When you go to that room, can you remove her?
I'm not sure. I can see what I can do.
It won't let me do any. I could close that room and just create another room, but I would say, see if you are able to.
Okay, I'll see if I can disconnect her, and I'll let her know that she needs to call back into the courtroom, or she needs to disconnect herself if she can't unmute.
Right. And then if she
Okay.
calls back in, I'll try to work with her and I won't put her to, I was communicating with her earlier, so I'll try to solve that before I put you back with her. Just quickly, if you're able to just make that announcement and disconnect her, and either way, come on back in because Mr. Swenson has been waiting patiently, and
Okay.
I'll have a solution for y'all.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. It's just like that sometimes. It's a little bit crazy. And we have ways to work with people if they can't be present somehow. But I like this option of being able to not have people come and sit through court because I don't think people particularly like to be crammed into a courtroom waiting. And so I think this has been a really good, the legislature let us do this for COVID, but I'm hoping we'll have it as an option. We won't do trials that way, obviously. Well, some courts are doing trials that way. My position is that doesn't make any sense at all. So I'm not doing trials that way unless I'm forced. But we're gonna take care of each and every person and make sure you have an opportunity.
I understand.
So hold on, let's see what happened with that. She'll either come back in and say, I have to make a new room for y'all, or Ms. Trevino will clear that room, so. What's the total now? Right. All reductions have been done? Okay. Thank you, right there. And that means we got him down to 1270.23. Okay. Okay, Mr. Vilela?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I was able to, a lot of the fees that get attached over the years like that, I can't get rid of them. But I've gotten you from 1660 down to 1270.23. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you coming by to do payments? Or are you paying online or by phone?
Probably by phone. I live in San Antonio.
Okay, that'll be fine. Let me give you the phone number.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. 254.
254, go
Oh,
ahead.
I'm sorry. 1-800. I don't know the 800 number.
Okay,
1-800-444. 1187. 1187.
okay.
I've learned something new every day. So we've gotten you down to that 1270.23. My understanding is you're paying that today.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And again, 800-444-1187. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Have a good one.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Bye-bye. Okay, he's getting done today. I'll try calling her in a minute. Okay, let's see. Maybe they were able to finally connect. That's my only guess there, because Ms. Warren is not one to chatter. So we'll be back with you, Mr. Swenson, I promise. Let's see. This is on that no-show Appling. She did submit a plea and it is indigent 11 hours. Yeah, let's go ahead and send that to her and see if we can get her to deal with it. Okay. Hold on. Santos, I handed to you, so let me see. So I believe he's coming in. Yeah. Yeah, he works here. So on Ramona Willis, she turned in more than enough hours. She turned them in late. I'll accept them if we verify them and they're there. I don't think she was on any kind of deferral. I think it was just, there are plenty of hours there to satisfy. Yeah, she would be done. So I don't see a reason to hold her up. So, okay. I'm sorry. Well, we're just waiting for them to do their pre-trial. Yeah. No, I think you're caught up, to be honest with you. I made, on those that missed court, I made rulings and wrote them down, so.
Hi, Your Honor. Ms. Trevino and I did, we were able to come to an agreement. She's
Okay.
changing her plea to no contest, but
Okay.
she was on a phone.
Yes.
So I explained to her, she does have to appear at her next court setting and she has to be in compliance.
Okay, and then what would be her expectation at that point?
I'm sorry.
What would be her thought? Like, what does she think will happen at that point?
Well, if she comes into compliance, quite frankly, I'm going to dismiss the case because she's had several cases.
Yes.
And I think it's just like a minor thing.
Right.
But otherwise, if it's not pending, she's expecting to appear, but she entered a no contest plea. So
Okay.
it'd just be up to the court if you wanted to sentence her at that time or what. But our agreement probably would be done before she came.
Okay. If you make a motion to dismiss because you're satisfied, I'll sign it. Otherwise, I'll look for her to be at the hearing and I'll accept her plea at that time and sentence her.
Oh, I see
Okay.
what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Swenson has been patiently waiting. And Mr. Swenson, you've probably seen me do this a number of times. You're going to receive an invite. So heading off to that room. That should be with you, that you should have gotten that already. Because it shows that you haven't joined yet. So there you go. Okay, this just goes in for information. She's not. She's waiting until the next hearing for compliance. And if there is compliance, we'll get a motion to dismiss. If we don't get a motion to dismiss, then we're expecting to see her and I'll accept her plea at that time of no contest and move forward with sentencing. I will be right back. Okay. Are we heading to a resolution or towards trial?
We're headed to trial, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Mr. Swenson, we'll see you on the 14th of July at 2 o'clock.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Wasaki, patiently waiting. And Mr. Wasaki, your turn, last but not least.
Right.
Let me send you that invitation, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. He's just having trouble. We'll see him at his next meeting. Okay, are we heading to trial or resolution?
Yes, Your Honor, we're headed to trial.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Wasaki, we will see you July 14th at 2 o'clock.
July 14th, 2 o'clock. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Warren, thank you for a good day.
Thank you. I had a question for you.
Certainly.
So we're set on the 23rd for jury trials that I thought were moved to the 30th, but I have the process.
I think I've got a note from from the coordinator about that. Did you reach out to her this morning or yesterday?
I did, and she's telling me I need to file continuances, and I wasn't sure if I needed to do that.
Let me look real quick.
Because if so, I was going to get a substitute rather than do that.
Right. Let's see. So the 23rd, is that what we're talking about, of June?
Of June, yes, ma'am.
Can we see what's on that docket? Let me pull that docket and see what's on it. And you're going to be, I've forgotten, I'm sorry.
The prosecutor training.
Gotcha. We would go to LT and pull it up. Let me see. That's just showing Mr. Wasaki. So let me look at the trial, bench trial session. And that's going to be on. I'm not showing anything set. So let me see if I'm confused.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought, because I saw bench trials, but I didn't see jury trials, and then I thought they had been moved, so I was confused. But if they are set, I'd rather get a substitute since we really hadn't gone in a while.
Right. We have bench trials tomorrow morning. I don't see anything set on those dates. You're still, okay. We're not looking at him. We're looking at bench trial settings for June 23rd. I'm not, all I'm seeing is Mr. Wasaki's file. I'm not seeing anything else. NLT is where we would be doing that. Yeah, I'm trying to see what is set for that date. Because if nothing is set, it's a moot point, and all I would need is the confirmation that, well, it's not set for jury. I don't think we have any. You can look, but I don't. Go ahead and click that. Let's just verify everything. Just starting June 1st. It should list them all. Build. Okay. So June 23rd is a jury date. I don't see. Oh, I had hoped we would do that, but I'm not particularly interested in doing that without Miss Warren. And I apologize if I misunderstood the dates you would be out, but I knew you were coming up to be out on some dates. So Ms. Warren, I'm going to take a court's pass on that because I don't think I want to do jury trials. See, my purpose of doing jury trials at that point is to kind of take one or two and block them with your presence so that we can assess what we're going to do with the rest of the summer.
Okay.
And doing that with a sub or without you actually doesn't make any sense to me at this point because I need your input for the rest of it and you need to be here for the rest of it. So
yeah, I apologize. I think we got our wires crossed, and so but I wanted to clear it up before, so that's fine, Your Honor.
Well, clearly I'm confused because I have that marked as a bench trial date. So
yeah,
I will get with the coordinator and we'll come up with a solution over here. And you've already emailed her that you're going to be at school, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I would need at this point.
Okay.
And I will clarify that with her.
Okay.
Thank
you.
All right.
Y'all have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.